Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Outcast Conference Talk. You already know it's me, Jake, along here with my pendulous ball having co-host.
Hades.
Love to hear it. And we're back once again. Today we're having a bit more of a. This may be shorter than most episodes, but we're having a bit straighter of a talk. I wanted to discuss something that the story of Mansa Musa. Now, I know you've heard the name before. Mansa Musa, supposedly the richest man to have ever lived.
Of course, there's how much times I've been in classes. And these black people our teachers are saying, "Oh, I didn't even know that the richest person who ever lived was a black person." You believe he was the richest person?
Oh yeah, definitely. With all the shit that he had, he was definitely the richest person.
I mean, I guess technically this richest person would be. I like to say. I remember I was watching a video and they're talking about the richest person, and like Mansa Musa was like 3 or 2. I was like, what? And then this number one was Solomon.
Like King Solomon?
It's King Solomon.
Fuck off. Well, Solomon. Either way. Alright. We're gonna have to work on that. We'll look into it. I definitely believe that he was really up there, and I wouldn't argue that he was number one. I wouldn't argue that if somebody told me that, because just the inherent value of everything. You know, the inherent value of all that he had, definitely. And it's because of that this is what I'm talking about. It's not just the inherent value, but it's how he destroyed everything. Mansa Musa was single-handedly responsible for the destruction of Africa's economy. And it's not what you think. It's not what you think. He was the leader. He was the great leader and the ruler of his own kingdom, right? On many territories, he was the big boss. Big boss, you know, he does big boss things, right? He's in charge. Now, people equate this, by the end of his journey, dudes don't understand that Mansa Musa was broke. By the end of his journey around Africa, his time around Africa, going to every single country, he was flat broke. He had given away gold coins, gold bars, gold bricks to everybody. Which it said that whatever city he walked through, the streets were as though they were lined with gold. Because it's true. His people gave away just about everything. He was happy by the end of his life, though, because he had given away everything that he believed that he truly didn't deserve. He was a king. He felt good about it. He felt good about the fact. And I think it was said that by the end of his life, I may be misquoting, but I think it was said that by the end of his life, when they looked into his treasury, they saw just a few gold pieces worth. So he was skint. He spent it all. Maybe that was the stupidest thing to ever do. And if he had saved some of that wealth and maybe built a proper empire-ish, we'd still be seeing the Musa family today.
I mean, in all honesty, dog, I think that in some ways, dog, wealth is really a curse. We see, because a lot of rich people nowadays, they aren't really and truly happy. They keep living because of goals and greed and a loss of purpose. A lot of these rich people nowadays, in my opinion, they don't look like they have much of a purpose to anything. They serve themselves, but they serve themselves and they're not even happy. It's a messed up thing.
Yeah, man. I think it's also part of the dynamic of why you see your favorite artist, he loses that touch in his music when he gets big. Because after he gets that bit of money, life is a bit different. In hip hop especially, dudes be like, he's not hungry anymore, and it's true, he's not hungry anymore. He's been talking about the same things forever, when in reality, his life is almost nowhere near the same as it was 5 years ago when he was still flat broke. He's gotten a couple million, he's been on some yachts, he's met girls in Prague, he's driven around in Monaco. Your favorite rapper, your singer, even people were mad about The Weeknd and all the yada yada. But The Weeknd himself...
Do you think Weeknd has lost his touch?
Hell no.
Hell no.
No.
I mean, you haven't listened to the next album, but...
No.
I mean, from what I've listened to, it's not bad at all. It's like, average. The Weeknd has never really made a horrible...
He's never made a horrible album, but he's made albums that people believe, there's not much, yada, yada, yada. The thing about it is, right?
How much coke you want, man, for like, jeez, man.
Yes, dog, y'all don't realize... People think, you should have been back in Trilogy, dog. When Weeknd made Trilogy, he was getting high every weekend. He was broke. He was homeless, dog. What do you want?
I remember listening. It was like a short thing. It was like a topic of something else. The guy mentioned The Weeknd and mentioned that The Weeknd was stealing shit to pay money to go and buy drugs.
Exactly. Life was different for him back then. Even the conversation around Kissland, his very first proper album, nobody ever remembers Kissland. It's actually my favorite Weeknd project ever. I like it because of the concept of it being Weeknd at his most plain. Every album after that, Weeknd had like a big theme or some shit, right? He had a theme around just like After Hours or Dawn FM. Mm-hmm. But Kissland was the Weeknd saying, bro, this has been my life for the past year. And it was truly that. Even the advertisements going up to it, it was like, I remember one being Kisholand in some fucking Japanese robotic language, and then the name of the album sprinkles in through like fucking neon Japanese letters. The theme, the idea of that album was, bro, this has been my life for the past year. I've done nothing but live. You people don't understand this. I've been everywhere. I've been hardworking. I've been pushing heavy. I've not been home. It's where it's also where that line you like to say kind of springs from, because that line comes it's actually inspired by most of Kissland.
What line?
Zero edge pool, never swing. Exactly. Because he's never been home. He had literally spent 365 days on tour. And when he finally made it home by the end of the album, he realized there was nothing home for him anymore. So it's my favorite Weeknd project for that reason. Despite the fact that I kind of had to stop listening to Weeknd's music. We're getting off track. I was discussing Mansa Musa because he destroyed Africa's economy at the time, and it took years, decades, to properly bounce back. And what people don't realize by such a thing is, let's say Egypt. I'm hoping you can learn something from this. This is why I'm trying to tell a story. The place of Egypt. When Mansa Musa passed through Egypt, he destroyed their economy. And destroyed it in a way because everyone had something. He destroyed their economy. And a lot of people, they don't look deeper into this. The word economia, it's Latin. Mm-hmm. It means the status of not having. An economy only works if there are people who don't have something.
This is something that I've actually wanted to talk to you about for a good while now. It's always rubbed me the wrong way when people try and people always give this try and sell their shit to other people and say yeah you need to do this and that and this and that, but it's always pissed me off because in reality not everybody can be rich. Not everybody can be rich. Not everybody can be middle class. Not everybody can be poor.
Exactly. There's gonna be somebody down here. There's gonna be somebody here. There's gonna be somebody up there.
It's really sad, and due to human greed,
it'll forever be
like that. There's no, because in my opinion, for us to really evolve into a very sustainable society, dog, we have to start distributing things evenly.
Oh yes.
And that's not gonna happen.
That's not going to happen.
From what I've seen. Unless we get a dictator. It's gonna be a war though, for sure.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. I'll get in the office and listen, yes.
Taking a bunch of people's zero-edge pools away. I've actually seen a zero-edge pool. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Lovely. Yes. The word economia comes from the status to have nothing. It's a Latin word. There cannot be an economy without there are people who have. Sorry guys, there's a mosquito. I got him. He's dead.
I gotta bust out the citronella candle soon.
Bruh. Yes. You cannot have an economy when there are people who have everything. The entirety of the Egyptian economy, people didn't want to work. There were individuals who didn't want to do anything. The leaders were falling victim to the lower class dudes now, and even the guards were refusing to guard the leaders because they were like, boy, we got enough money like you now. We need you for. You feel me? It was becoming a problem, and people want to believe that societies like this are just everything's perfect, but it's not. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, there will be a problem in any society. I've seen people push socialism and communism, these liberals pushing socialism, communism, saying it'll solve all our problems. It won't. Communism, look at the communist countries. I will admit that Cuba is a great example of communism doing good, but it also has its drawbacks heavily. Right now, they're fighting against communism in Cuba because of those drawbacks. Putin right now, communism made Russia as stable as a country as it's ever going to be. It's actually the reason why the country's so powerful. Because they've decided everything is for the state, you can't have this, yada, yada, yada. Everybody's even. So work and do this for the country, right?
I agree with socialism, but I don't agree with liberal socialism. We've had this talk before.
Yeah, yes, we have.
Bro, socialists want people to have everything but not work the same.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody must work. I don't feel everybody should have the same amounts of opportunity, the same amounts of, resources, but you have to work. And you have to work to further the community.
Yes. Yes, socialism, especially the way liberals push it, they want everyone to have the same end goal no matter what. And that's never going to happen. No matter what society you live in, it's going to fall apart. Because Mansa Musa, he passed through Egypt, he destroyed the entirety of their thing. And people want a utopia. Dudes don't understand what the word utopia means. The word utopia is also Latin. It is the Latin word for nowhere. For nowhere. A dystopia is the counterpart to that word, and it means everywhere or somewhere, a place where everything is happening.
No wonder people say they want a dystopian society.
Because this is what we have right now. We live in a dystopia. People believe that dystopian societies, everything was on fire and yada yada yada. No, we live in a dystopian society right now. The utopian society is nowhere. Everything is properly distributed. There is no conflict. There is no point in anyone having to argue over something. The most a human would have to worry about is the love of another human being, and they would have to work on that socially.
It makes me fear for what the message of utopia is going to be. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to bring this message to our viewers, anybody who would actually view this. Please don't be blindsided with this belief that the world is going to be this and that if we change this and that. It's not going to be. If the world were to crumble to ashes today and we were to try to build up something again, there would still be problems. There would still be individuals who reap a little bit of this and reap a little bit of that. And to reach a proper utopia, there would have to be murder, killing, and all this violence. There would have to be a power of some sort that we all believe in to maintain this equalism. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen unless we all either follow one world religion, which as a man as a biblical man, I understand how the whole one world religion works, dog. It's a new world order type shit. I don't fucking believe in that shit, so that shit's gonna be the end of the world. They're gonna try to make it all one thing. That's my belief. We're either gonna have to follow one world religion, we're gonna need one currency, and we're all gonna need to literally do the same shit. For there to be a proper utopia, everybody needs to do the same thing. There will be no individualism. I do want individuals to understand. I just want you to get that no matter, even when you have abundance, there will be something. There will be something of the effect. Mansa Musa had everything, and he believed that he didn't fully deserve it, and he was happy giving it all away. And when he gave it all away, he created problems. Despite doing a good thing and being the richest man to have ever lived, he created problems. He distributed so much wealth that everything fell apart, and it took decades to fix problems after he left. That's everything I wanted to say. Please identify your situation. If you want to get better, then you have to change the way you are, work harder, make a plan and figure some things out. But do not believe that the world just needs to change, and if the world changes, everything will be better. No, it'll just flip, and somebody will be up and somebody will be down. Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, guys, I believe that's everything we had to talk about. Until next time, you already know. Stay working. Stay working. Stay believing in your own ideals, but above all else.
Wait, stay believing in yourself, but above all else,
stay on.